adding integers with different signs. And so when the signs are different, the rule is to subtract and to keep the sign of the bigger number. And so this means, for example, in this first one we have here, we have positive 5 plus negative 2. And because 5 is greater than 2, we're going to keep the sign of the 5, which is positive. And then for the second one, we have negative 5 plus positive 2. And because 5 is greater than 2, then we're going to keep the sign of the 5, which is negative. Now, when we are adding these, we're going to start out with positive 5. So 5 positives, yes. And we're going to add to that 2 negatives. And with 2 negatives, we see that we have 2 zero pairs here. So those cancel out, and we're left with positive 3. And for the second one, we start out with 5 negatives. And to the 5 negatives, we're going to add 2 positives. And we have, again, 2 zero pairs, and we end up with negative 3. To model this, we're going to first show positive 5 plus negative 2. So we're going to start here at 0, and we're going to move to positive 5, which says that we have $5 in the bank, and we are going to spend $2. So we're going to come back in the negative direction. And so we're going to spend $2, and we end up at positive 3. And then we have negative 5, where we start out and we are in the hole, negative $5. And then we are going to add $2. So we're going to pay $2 on that debt. So we're going to come back in the positive direction, and we're going to end up at negative 3. We are still in debt, but not as much in debt. But anytime you have that negative, it can be thought of as taking on a debt. It's a debt of $2, a debt of $5. So that helps the kids in thinking about when they need to subtract the 2 because the signs are different, or when they need to add the 2 because the signs are the same. And they can also think about other contexts like temperature, being in an elevator. Those visual images help students to understand when they're moving in the negative direction and when they're moving in the positive direction.